government seriously needs to get a grip on what the fuck they're doing. I'm not too sure if we're heading to a recession. I'm looking at the patterns. I feel as if we're already in a recession.
Well,
we printed too much money.
too much money, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the interest rates went up. Petrol prices are now $3.10 a litre. 4 people brought into Australia for every dwelling that was built. 50% of our property is taxed. There's a possibility our interest rates are going to go even higher. And then on top of our interest rates going even higher, there's a chance your costs are going to rise as well.
I've been talking to a lot of people around, and they don't really know what a recession is. They're people thinking it's the Great Depression, where there's bread lines and there's stockbrokers tossing themselves out of windows. Not quite.
Learn how to protect yourself from a recession. Look at the signs of what is happening in the market. Get wise.
Welcome to the Finance Show with Joe. And honestly, things are getting a little dour. Things are getting a little dark because we might be heading into a recession. But I've been talking to a lot of people around, and they don't really know what a recession is. They're people thinking it's the Great Depression, where there's bread lines and there's stockbrokers tossing themselves out of windows. Not quite. It's a little different, and we're going to get into it. I'm Michael. This is Joe. Welcome to the Finance Show with Joe.
Michael, I'm very excited to do this episode because I could finally use that piece of paper on the wall.
Oh, the economics degree, of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're speaking to the only mortgage broker in Australia that's got a degree in economics. So if anyone's going to talk about the recession,
He's got a master's and a Cert 4.
yeah, you're the boys.
Yeah,
Do you think anybody with an economics degree has ever screamed out, "Yeah, the boys"?
Not the ones I went to class
This
with.
is a very, very horrible start to a very dire episode, but we're trying here, guys. We're in pain.
We can only laugh. That's all we've got left.
That's pretty much economics. Okay, so I'm gonna start broadly by speaking. My first economics lecture, my lecturer got up to the front. It was on macroeconomics, and he goes, "I'm going to teach you all how to end world hunger." I'm like, "Awesome!" And he's like, "But you have to assassinate a few people first." And I was like, "All right then, okay."
Were any of those people the Ayatollah? I'm just.
We've been cancelled in. Anyways, no. Essentially, an economics degree is, I always like to say, it's a mixture of philosophy meets maths.
Yeah.
Okay. It's behavioral science. It's hubris. It's understanding the supply and demand chains, or what the demands of each country are. If a country's in a growth period or if they're in a contractionary period, and every country defines recessions differently.
Yeah.
In Australia, it's if we've got 2 quarters that are consecutive of negative growth.
Yeah. Very simple.
Yeah. I'm not 100% certain. I'm 90% certain that we avoided a recession in 2020 when COVID first hit.
The last time Australia was in recession, as you said, was in 2020, right at the beginning of COVID. It started in March and ended in May. It was very, very short. That was because we did so much stuff to prevent it. The cash rate was 0.1%.
Yeah.
Everyone got the JobKeeper stuff and all that sort of things.
There was a home builder scheme to get
there
people
was so much money
to activate the construction market. The government did everything it could to help avoid recession.
Yeah.
And then we went the other way where we had a complete spike in inflation.
We got too much money.
We printed too much money.
Too much money, yeah.
And then all of a sudden the interest rates went up. So I'm not too sure if we're in if we're heading to a recession, but I feel, I'm looking at the patterns. I feel as if we're already in a recession.
Well, I looked into the warning signs because honestly, again, I've got a very general idea of what a recession was. But let's just go to get with the dictionary definition out of the way. Simultaneous declines in consumption, investment, government spendings, and net export activity. Boring. We got that out of the way though. All right, here's the signs of a recession that's coming. And let me know if anything sounds a little familiar to you guys. Number 1, falling consumer confidence.
Yes.
Number 2, falling retail sales.
Yes.
3, reduced business investment.
Yes.
4, wage stagnation or decline.
Yes.
5, housing market slowdown.
We're not sure yet.
The clearance rates are dropping.
The clearance rates are dropping, but they were flying before.
So not quite there. So that's a maybe.
Yeah.
Number 6, growing corporate and household debt. We know certainly with households, I can't speak for the corporates.
Corporate debt is through the roof because of the amount of private credit that's now in Australia. So that is through the roof without actual data being able, like it's not quantifiable because the people that are lending this money out are private offices that don't have to report their data to, ASIC or shareholder committee. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, and the last one, and I'm sure it's near and dear to all Australians' heart, growing food prices. So food prices going up is a sign of a recession on the way.
So I went to McDonald's the other day and I just got a large meal and a 6-pack of nuggets. Okay.
How much did that cost you?
$25.80. $25.80 for a large.
He got the Grand Angus. That's the problem.
No, but for a large burger meal and nuggets, I remember paying $10 for that back in the day, $12. And when I say back in the day, I'm not acting it like I know I'm old.
Yeah, but it wasn't 20 years ago.
But it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. It was like 10.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, did I just pay $25 for a meal from McDonald's? I was really, really stumped me. Now, we're at the start of this. And the reason why we're at the start of this is because of this war in Iran. They've blocked off the Strait of Hormuz, which is now the most popular phrase in the world. Yeah. It's like
how many people can honestly say they knew about it before any of this happened?
Barely any, but it just reminds me of social distancing. The amount of times I heard the word social distancing 5 years ago, and now it's Strait of Hormuz, Strait of Hormuz, Strait of Hormuz. Everyone's an expert on it, by the way, on geopolitics. I'm just going to tell you what I see in Australia and how I expect this or how I anticipate this to play out.
Okay.
So firstly, we see petrol prices are now $3.10 a litre. Well, for diesel. I have diesel. So $3.10 a litre. A lot of the prices that we have set right now, whether it's via grocers, whether it's the groceries, whether it's via freight, it's set on the prices contractually obligated, from 3 months ago that they put in, or 6 months ago, or 12 months ago. Once those contracts lapse and people calculate, hey, this is how much more expensive it is for me to ship goods to Australia, or this is how much more expensive it is for me to deliver food to this grocery market, or to bring a concrete truck out there. That is when the prices really come into effect.
Yeah.
And that is going to be the leading cause of this recession. I believe that we are already in recession, and I'm happy to have a healthy debate.
I would tend to agree. I just read off the warning signs, and I fucking all of them they're right there.
Yeah. So, firstly, housing prices exploded again last year.
Yeah, we've spoken about this at length.
But when you have the issue with Australia's housing market is it was artificial.
Yeah, and it kind of always has been.
Pull back a bit, all right? Okay. Just hold your horses a bit before I start going crazy. But we had mass migration again. We had 4 people brought into Australia for every dwelling that was built. We don't know if the dwellings that were built were for those 4 people. Like, for instance, these 4 people moved to Lakemba, but they built a house over in Alice Springs. So, there might be more vacancy in Alice Springs, but there isn't in Lakemba. So we've seen vacancy rates still hover between 1% and 2% when the national average over 5 years ago, just over 5 years ago, was 5%. We've got an extreme lack of supply when it comes to rentals. Now, what is it about rentals, and what is it about negative gearing, and what is it about investments that people are always talking about? Oh, people shouldn't use investment properties to be able to make money in Australia. Well, our tax system has made it quite advantageous for people to make money via investment properties.
One would almost say it was geared towards
Well done. 5 stars. You're telling people who have found a way to make money to make more money and then not expect to use it.
Yeah, this is where the reform aspect has to come in. If you want people to stop doing it, and I'm not arguing for or against, but if you want people to stop using the system that way, change the system.
Or increase the supply in the market of housing.
That as well.
Okay, so you can say, change the system. Okay, cool. The problem with that, and I'm going to add, so you change the system, okay, no more negative gearing. two issues. And I spoke about this when we had David Mack on the show.
Yes, we did.
First, issue number one was people are just going to switch to company structures because you can offset the interest in there and it's a 25% tax rate, whatever.
Yeah.
Number two is you're going to see a lot less off the plan sales.
Yeah.
And how do property developers and builders get funds from the banks?
Off the plan.
They get it off the plan. So what you're going to see enter Australia even more is either private credit, so private lenders that, hey, I'll lend you $5 million, but your interest is going to be 20%. And
we'll break your legs if you don't pay it.
Correct. Because it's company to company loan.
Yeah.
And it's, oh no, like we don't care. We don't care how you get the money. No, we're just gonna bankrupt you.
Yeah.
So there's that option, loan to own loan sharks. Or there's the other option of, guess what? We're just not gonna build because we can't make profit there.
Yeah.
So there's multiple factors, and this is why I say it's artificial, it's inflated.
Okay.
The government seriously needs to get a grip on what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
But you can say, oh, yeah, negative gearing, or get rid of it. I could say, okay, let's discount the negative gearing. That's all well and good. People are just going to switch to company structures, or they're just not going to buy more property.
Also, the numbers have been crunched several times, and like, while negative gearing would have, like, this is more in terms of house prices and stuff. Like, negative gearing, the prices will go down marginally, like not to the point where people are thinking it will solve anything about the house.
There's going to be another complaint about another thing shortly afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, now people own properties in companies. Okay, so we'll stop companies from being able to get debt. Oh, I just can't save money because things are expensive. That's what's going to happen. Okay, so the signs, the definition of a recession, what the government is doing to assist. I can tell you 1, 2, 3, they're all headed in the wrong direction. What you need to do right now is learn how to protect yourself from a recession. Because if there's a possibility our interest rates are going to go even higher, and then on top of our interest rates going even higher, there's a chance your costs are going to rise as well. If you do not control your own destiny, or if you're working for a business, or if you like, I'm not gonna lie, Liam, our video producer, Michael, yourself, you are both employees of It's Simple.
It's true.
Okay, as employees of It's Simple, now you know me. I would rather go get run over by a car than remove you two from the business. You guys know that well. I'll fucking run through brick walls for you guys. Okay.
Stop it! You're making me
Now,
blush.
truthfully, like, you know, you guys are my kids. Anyways. But what I'm trying to get at with this is not every business owner out there is like me.
No, 100%.
And then on top of that, I'm looking at this now and I'm like, oh shit, I had growth plans for 2026. I'm going to put a pause on that.
Yeah.
Because if I don't pause that, I could be putting people in my workforce, people that I take care of, people whose retirement depends on me.
Yeah.
I could be putting them at risk if I go take risks that I shouldn't be taking.
Because that's really the big thing. Like, as it pertains to you, the listener, the viewer, what happens for a recession is business productivity falls, as do profits, which therefore means unemployment rises.
Correct.
Which therefore means living standards start to drop broadly. That's what happens. Like, I saw a comment one day that was like, stagnation is when you know someone who's lost their job. A recession is when you lost your job. Or something like that.
Stagflation or stagnation? Stagnation. In these particular circumstances, let me get back to my serious voice. The serious voice is back on, people. Look at the signs of what is happening in the market and get wise about spending habits. Get wise about the way that you are producing for yourself and your family, and start protecting yourself. Fix your interest rates.
Plan ahead. Have a plan. Just even if it's a vague plan, have something.
Yeah, but don't leave it to the last second. Check your subscriptions. I'm guarantee you go into your bank accounts, you'll see a random $20 subscription that you forgot you signed up for. It happens to me daily.
I was going to say, half of our job is going through and it's like, Joe, we've got to get rid of this.
Yeah.
When did you sign up for this? I signed up for this?
Yeah, pretty much. So we need, but like truthfully.
Yeah. No, it gets easy to get lost in the source.
It is. So you need to learn how to protect yourself. Look at the telltale signs. Okay. Now, if you look at me and you ask me, when do I predict this recessionary period to end? Oh, it's a hard one to say. because
Does this end up like because really it depends. Like, does Iran turn into a forever war like Afghanistan or Iraq?
there's two issues.
Mm.
Iran has been planning for this war since the 80s.
Yeah, Iran is a powerful country.
Yeah, because they've got resources that they could tap into.
Mm.
Afghanistan had resources, but their resources were heroin and stones. They didn't have the oil that's why America used Afghanistan to get into Iraq anyways. But like Iran isn't some backward ass country that no, they've got funds.
It's Persia. They fought the Greeks. Like, this is a civilization that has been around for fucking centuries, millennia even.
Correct.
So like, don't like write them off.
Correct. But it's the hubris of Donald Trump, and being catered to, and being surrounded by the right people saying, "Yeah, you should go do this," or
100%.
And that is the reason why. So that is the reason why this war is still going.
Sure.
Now, there is a semblance of arrogance. They got him at a good time to go do it as well. I've just kidnapped the Venezuelan president or prime minister. I don't know.
Secured huge oil reserves.
So this guy's thinking to himself, he's untouchable. Yeah, no. You know what? I've got bad advice. Yeah, but I'm going to go invade Iran anyways.
No one has successfully invaded Iran since Muhammad in the 500 AD. Like, it's a mountainous. It's the same reason you couldn't take Afghanistan.
Correct.
It's a mountainous region where you can't just put in like hordes of troops because it doesn't work that way. Also, Vietnam, same thing, just jungle instead of mountains.
Yes. Okay. And people aren't pre-prepared for that. So it's really about like how arrogant or egotistical is Trumpy, the big orange man, which,
I mean, we're not going to say he's got a small ego.
That's the best way to put it. It's not a small one.
No.
Okay. And also, how much resource has America got to deploy before they have to start a ground invasion? And if they start a ground invasion, that's not going to end well.
Well, I saw in the news, I think it was either this morning or last night, that ground troops are on their way.
What, you're joking?
No, I'm not.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are my predictions? What do I think? Unemployment will increase.
Yeah, that's the standard, yeah.
But the problem with that is we've already got people in Australia that are underemployed, that aren't getting paid enough, or they're not working enough days. But unemployment will increase.
Which is what, because just for context, unemployment right now is actually really low, right?
It's 4.2.
That's like where you kind of want it. I know there's an ideal
You
rate.
want it you want it between 4.5 to 5.
Oh, so it's actually a little low. Okay.
Correct. When the Albanese government first came in, the amount of bureaucrats to individuals was 37 to 1. Now it's 17 to 1. It used to be 37 people to every bureaucrat. Now 17 individuals to every bureaucrat. So the government spending's up. So to be able, like, there needs to be a number of systemic changes right now in Australia to prevent a recession, but we don't have a government that will do it. And how do I know this? They've just appointed a fuel crisis task force at the federal level where they've created 20-something new jobs and they've just employed them straight away. No job ads up on Seek, nothing.
Yeah, they've just already got
They've got their mates and they've put them in. But that's 20 plus new full-time salaries that our taxpayer dollars are going to be paying for. So you're going to see the private sector shrink quite a bit in Australia, and you're going to see the public sector increase even more. And it's going to be a flatter, more socialist regime in Australia, which I'm certain everybody looking around now is not enjoying, especially when it comes to the petrol prices and a bunch of other things, like, you know, the amount of bureaucracy that goes into just building a house. Like 50% of our property is tax. Like that's how much, like, government fees.
That, to be fair, the bureaucracy stuff, that's just an Australian thing. Fuck, we love rules. The stereotype of the laid back Aussie doesn't actually exist.
No.
There are some guys, you know, that are like that, but the culture at large, no.
No.
We are not like that. We love a rule.
Yeah.
We love a good rule. We love a sign.
Yeah.
Just we'll do it. Just, like we are a nanny state, and we've been that way. And this is like under Liberals, under Labor. It's just this is what I mean. It's an Australian thing. Obviously, the increase in bureaucusy is a different story.
Yeah.
But just like the general trend of Australia, that's
It's because you can't just pick up and jump countries. Where are you going to go? New Zealand? They're worse.
well, all the Kiwis are coming here.
Yeah. Because they hate their rules.
It's interesting how, from their perspective, Australia is considered the land of opportunity, the golden land.
Jesus Christ. We're doomed.
It's all about perspective, isn't it?
It is. But in summary,
Yeah.
how do you protect yourself from a recession? Well, we did a bonus episode after this one.
Mm-hmm.
5 things you can do. But I'll quickly just give it to you here. Number 1, build a war chest. And I always say build a war chest.
Mm-hmm.
What is a war chest? Make sure you fucking tighten up your savings. Stop spending money on, and I'm not going to say useless shit, because people need to eat, people need to drink, people need to call other individuals, people need to pay for internet.
Also, living as well is like, what's the point in life if you just have to live like austere, like with nothing?
But protect yourself, create a budget plan, look at your finances, look at what subscription models that you have, look at your invoices, look at your insurances, see what you can bring down, and then work backwards from there.
Yeah, I found a few things as well, like cash is king to a certain extent. Save up, have that war chest, like you were saying, at least 3 months. Try pay off as much as debt as you can, I suppose. Try not to get new debt.
No. Let's go back to the debt one. Try to pay off as much debt as possible. Short-term debt, yeah.
Oh, like credit cards and such, yeah.
Yeah. Personal loans, yeah. Home loans?
No.
I'm not going to say yes. Like, if you've got 2 years left on your home, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Just try and get
That's different. Almost, yeah.
Try and
you
pump
got
that one
25 years still. Like,
But and I think we brought this up in our bonus episode,
yes.
but if I've got 23 years left on my mortgage, my repayments are $7,300 a month. But if I stretch out my loan to 30 years and my repayments are $5,900 a month, that's $1,400 a month I've got extra in cash flow. That is money I can be using right now, this very second, to protect myself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this advice is for everyone.
No. Speak to a professional.
Yeah. Don't be racking up credit card debt is what I'm saying.
That's a big one.
Yeah. But if it's your home loan and stuff, speak to an expert before you do anything, like Michael just said.
Yeah. And I found this other thing online. You tell me if I'm right or wrong on this. Avoid buying or selling investments out of fear. Like, don't panic.
That's probably my favorite one. This is non-financial advice. So we saw before the war started, people go apeshit over gold.
Yeah.
And gold's dropped by 10%.
Yeah. Correction or just people are cashing out?
How can I put this best? Because the world is so connected. Liam could jump on TikTok tomorrow and see a jeweler make $30,000 from gold bullion.
Gotcha.
I'll go buy some gold because it looks like everybody's making money on gold. Gold's gone up. What happens is the market realizes, wait, there's not as much shortage of gold because of this war as we initially anticipated.
Okay.
You know what? There's a lot more supply in the market than we initially anticipated. Okay, we'll drop it back. So you bought as it's inflating. All that's happened in the last week or so is, you're right, a correction.
Okay.
But a correction to what the actual shortage is in the market, not a correction towards, oh yeah, no, it's going back. And the thing is, whenever you watch metals during recessionary periods, silver, gold bullion, what you'll notice is it inflates, dips, stays. It's not like oil. You will see oil go up and down. Oil can shoot right up, it can shoot right down. Metals are different. Once they go up, might correct a bit, but they kind of stay. So when you say don't buy and sell investments out of fear, that's a very, very good point because we saw it back in 2021. Okay. Wise man learns from like the mistakes of the past, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
NFTs. Does everybody remember the NFT hype market?
I remember NFTs, yeah.
Do you remember how often I was just looking at this going, this is fucking dumb?
It's so dumb.
I just remember sitting there going, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, they're like, in the blockchain, you can tell this is the original image. And I'm like,
but it's a monkey.
Yeah, who cares?
It was Pokemon cards.
At least Pokemon
No,
cards.
Pokemon cards were cooler.
That's what I'm saying. At least Pokemon cards. And also you get a physical thing. Like the shiny
Badass
Charizard.
Charizard.
Exactly. You get that Charizard. That's like, you can put it on a necklace.
what's his name? Kevin O'Leary. But this
I
like,
think a Paul brother did it as well.
yeah, like the NFT market was stupid.
So speculative.
So speculative. And I think I saw a statistic the other day. Logan Paul, he had an NFT worth 6.55 million or 655,000. It was one of the two.
Yeah.
And now it's worth $25.
Yeah, it's literally.
And that is the best, clearest example of don't buy when everything is awry, because what happens is you can get scammed very quickly. I think you need to understand things before you invest in them.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you may as well just go to a casino, put money on red.
Yeah. Invest in something real as well. Like,
Property.
yeah, property, metal.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So even oil, like, we don't know what that's going to do. But anyways, general advice, speak to a professional before you do anything like that. And focus on diversification of your property, your portfolio. This is going to be for our more advanced listeners or our more advanced individuals.
Yeah. So if you got like a bunch of investment properties, a bunch of stocks, a bunch of this, that, and the other.
I wouldn't even say a bunch, because you can diversify even with like 10 grand if it's just in markets, or you can diversify in property. Like, let's say I've got 2 investment properties, but then I've also got some money in shares. Okay. Maybe you look at the share market and you go, well, we're in a contractionary market. I can't really imagine Qantas spiking up in value right now. Or I can't imagine Virgin Australia really growing in value when nobody's taking flights and petrol is costing so much.
Which includes jet fuel.
Correct. Okay. Maybe I take the money out of there, but have we changed our migration status in Australia? No. Have we changed our construction status or anything? No. Okay. Well, maybe because the war is all the way over there, you're going to get a lot of people coming down here and living down here. So is there an opportunity where I could take my $10,000 out of the share market and go buy an off the plan property, and then in 12 months time, that off the plan property isn't worth $400,000 or whatever it is. You have to put a 2% deposit. I'm just talking out loud. Calm down. Nobody fucking come at me in the comments. But let's say I've done that, and then that contract is now worth 600,000 instead of probably worth 400,000. So always look at the essentials that people need to live, and look for it in areas that are considered safe, as opposed to looking at investments that are speculative, like
the NFTs,
airlines, or even shopping. Okay, because those are the ones, especially when money is expensive, money is 6% plus. Those are the ones that you might see a dip in this year.
Yeah, basically, just don't try to get rich quick schemes are usually a scam.
Yep, the best way to put it.
Yeah,
it's not called the pyramid because it's a square. Anyways,
what does that mean?
I don't know.
For context, because it's getting late in the day, we're tired.
It's 3:30. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into our episode on recessions. I don't know what's going to happen next few weeks. This could all be solved tomorrow.
Straight up.
Or it could not be.
Yeah.
But at least we were able to speak on it. And if you got any advice from this, remember it was general, but also just a reminder, stay safe out there.
Yeah. If
you need help with your property, or if you need help with any of your property investments, you can visit us at www.itsimple.com.au. As always, that's been Michael.
He's Joe.
And thank you for listening to The Finance Show with Joe. That was a really good outro. We should do that more.